and we get the Yankees, which is exactly
what we wanted.
Not just from a buzz, interest level, talk radio standpoint.
It's who they're going to beat.
But I think it's the best matchup on the field. I do.
I agree. I didn't want anything to do with Cleveland because Cleveland's under some sort of witchcraft black magic that I don't want to even go up against.
And make that clear. I don't think they're very talented.
Yeah.
But that's the team. That's a buzzsaw you don't want to deal with right now.
By the way, their team's nasty, right? And I talked about my trip to Cleveland brag earlier in the year where it was $2 beers and Emmanuel Class A jerseys.
Yep.
Which he's now
what happened to him?
From baseball.
Oh, yeah, right.
Still have the jersey, though.
Yeah.
So my buddy who lives down there, he texted me over the weekend, and he's like,
I'm sick brag, bro.
He's like, I'm at the game again. He took a picture. He's out in center field. He's like, not only is it $2 beers, it's $1 hot dogs. Man. They're like on their way to winning the World Series, and he's eating $1 dogs, drinking $2 beers.
That's living.
It is living.
That's living.
It tastes better at the ballpark, the dogs and the beers, and he was just having a blast. And so I didn't want to face them. Detroit, I don't know, the Red Sox didn't have the best head-to-head this season with Detroit.
No, they ended up 2-4 against them.
So I would rather face the Blue Jays or the Yankees. And I'm like, you know what? I'd rather face the Yankees. Yeah, Scooble, I know what you're going to say.
Scooble's just the neutralizer with Crochet, where you're like, if he's on his game, and who knows how he's going to pitch after his last outing against Cleveland, he melted down. Yeah. But if he's on his game, that's a guy who can offset Crochet.
Now, obviously, I would rather this series at Fenway, but the last couple of weeks, it felt like, all right, they're going to be on the road for the wild card round. And which one of 4 possibilities would you have? And out of the 4, this is the one that I wanted the most.
Same.
They dominated them during the regular season. You have a huge advantage with Crochet. Aaron Judge isn't the greatest postseason performer of all time, despite being one of the best baseball players in the last decade. He's not great in the postseason. The rest of their lineup is better than I gave it credit for. Like, during the season, I'm like, they're a one-man team. And then you look at it, you're like, well, no, Jazz Chisholm's like 30-30. Cody Bellinger had a good
Stanton
year.
hits bombs. Bellinger's good.
It's definitely better than I thought.
30, as you just said. Ben Rice. But, so they have some guys.
But they also, their best pitchers are lefties, and the Red Sox have had some good lefty killer lineups. And so I'll take my chances against the Yankees.
So, agreed. And the other piece to it is, if you advance, and again, the Red Sox haven't been here since they redid the format in baseball. But just know, if you were unaware, they don't reseed. You know who's waiting for you in the next round. It's the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
So it's Yankees, where you have Crochet tomorrow night in Game 1. Win that. You just got to split the other 2. And then it's Toronto. And that's your path to the ALCS, which is very, very, very manageable. It doesn't mean they do it. It doesn't mean they get there, but I don't know. That's about as good of a road as you could expect there.
And it's probably our 2 biggest rivals, right? You have the Yankees and Canada.
All of Canada.
The whole country.
And their lack of baseball IQ, which they take very personally.
They do. They're still mad at Brian Roberts. Poor Brian Roberts. Gets his name on the Mitchell Report. Now Canada hates him.
Now all of Canada's upset with him, yeah.
No, but this is super exciting, and it was an exciting way to get into the playoffs, too. Now, you might say, well, if you're in, you're in. But the last couple of days that we were on the air, it was like it could be very anticlimactic. Like the Houston Astros could just lose another game and then you make the playoffs. And then you're like doing like a weird champagne celebration when you lost, but so did the Astros late at night against the Angels. That would have been for the birds. Instead, you have another walk-off. This team suddenly has had 1 million walk-offs this year.
The way they got in.
You could truly say, you're allowed to really celebrate that. And they did, by the way. They went nuts.
Oh, they did. It was great. Friday night was great. And it wasn't a fun watch initially. Like, my guy, Harrison's out there.
You're down 3-0, and you're like, I'm going to have to stay up and watch the Astros game?
He's mowing them down to start.
Stinks.
He's mowing them down to start. I'm like, here we go. He's going to jam it in everybody's face. He's going to jam it in Nick's face. And then next thing you know, it's just walk, hit.
What was that, 10 base runners
walk,
in 3 innings?
Hit. Yeah, 3-0.
Yeah, there's a lot happening.
Look, let me give Cora this. I've been very critical of Cora all year. Cora on Friday was awesome.
Oh, he managed his tail off.
And if you want to point to the Red Sox and why they could go on a run in the postseason, if that's how Cora's going to manage a regular season game, if he's going to manage like that in the postseason,
it'll be even more aggressive.
I'll be on board with everybody who said Cora's a difference maker. I haven't seen enough of that in 4 or 5, even going back to 2018. It's been a long time since I've seen Cora make any kind of difference. Friday night, you saw it. Friday night is what people talk about when they talk about him as being worth $7 million a year and one of the best managers in the game. You saw it.
I wouldn't be shocked if in the playoffs at some point, if they advance past this round and then are still going, where they might close out a game Crochet, Whitlock, Chapman.
Yeah.
Wouldn't shock me at all. We've seen it before. because Whitlock and Chapman, just those two guys alone give you such a huge advantage. Like we've seen a lot of playoff teams, Red Sox teams, for example, too, that when they have guys like that can just shut down a game, it makes the job easier for the manager. Now, if the starter gets knocked out early, okay, then it's like all hands on deck. Let's figure out how you get those middle innings done. But Whitlock and Chapman have just been so dominant this year. And then their lineup is wild because with no Roman Anthony, you look at it and you're like, well, on paper, there's no Manny Ramirez, there's no David Ortiz, and yet they have so many guys that have signature moments. Like Rafaela walks it off to get him in there, but Narvaez has had big games. Freaking Nathaniel Lowe has had big games. They've had a lot of got a lot of different players get game winners this year.
We talked about this last week when they were in Toronto. It's like Narvaez and Rafaela. Yep. I don't know if I'm counting on him every single at bat.
You're not.
But there is a flair for the dramatic there. And so, yeah, I like this matchup. This is the matchup that I wanted. Text line does say, Keefe, aren't you nervous about the late season trends with the Yankees kicking the Sox ass? Red Sox won a lot in the beginning. I mean, the Red Sox won a series. The Red Sox won 3 of 4 in late August.
Yeah.
They did drop 2 of 3.
They lost 2 of 3 a couple weeks back.
Yeah, at home in the middle of September, but they won on Sunday Night Baseball. It's like
the game they won was a crochet game.
They lost 1 series to the Yankees all year. And it was the most recent one, so I'm not saying it's not relevant, but am I freaking out about the most recent trend? The Red Sox won the last game they played. And as you said, it was a crochet game. So, no, I'm not nervous about that, meaning the late season trend. Could they lose to the Yankees? Sure. I don't think it's automatic by any means. But that doesn't make me nervous about the way it's going down. But Friday night was great. Rafaela walking it off. Cora, just as you said, Keefe, managed a monster of a game. And they came through when they needed to make the weekend stress-free. Yeah. Because it felt pretty stressful on Friday night, and you're like, oh, God.
No, it shouldn't be. Well,
it's Connolly early, and then what are they doing again on Sunday? And it didn't get to it because they walked it off Friday night, and it lets everybody reset, relax, and get ready for this tomorrow.
It was a bit of a roller coaster just because last week at this time, they had an off day on Monday. We were like, this is going to be, like, get ready for this week. And then it was back-to-back wins. You're like, oh, this is going to be over early. And then it wasn't, right? Then you lose, and then the Astros win. And you're like, oh, this isn't going to go into the weekend, is it?
Yeah.
And then they're down 3-0 in the game on Friday, and you're like, oh, is this going to come down to Saturday? And then you're like looking at the pitching matchups. You're like, wait, what the hell? You're like, your head was just spinning. But not only do they go in like really the only way they should have gone in was with a walk-off hit like that. Fenway Park going crazy, and now they're all ready to go for the season. They cap off a 89-win season. Pretty great. Although Alex Cora.
Okay, I was just going to get to this. So real quick, what sort of shot are you giving the Red Sox against the Yankees now that we know the matchup? It's Toronto waiting after that if you want to get ahead of yourselves.
I give them a great chance.
What sort of chance are you giving them to go on a run beginning with the Yankees? 617-779-7937. So you just brought this up. Alex Cora. This was a Saturday after they clinched?
I think they clinched, yeah.
He said, let's be honest. Nobody, and I'm reading here from Christopher Smith, let's be honest, nobody thought they were going to make it. We were going to make it, rather, in October when the season started. Whoever says, yeah, we were a playoff team, that's effing BS, to be honest with you.
You sure about that?
Nobody thought we were going to make it to October. It was New York. It was Baltimore. It was Toronto, and we believe we were going to play in October. We set our standards every single day, and we hit our standards.
I can't speak for everybody.
Yeah.
But I can't speak for everybody on this show.
Yeah.
We did our predictions like we did for all the teams, and this way we can be right, wrong, or in between. All 4 of us had them making the playoffs. I think all 4 of us had them winning the division. Lanny had him winning the World Series. You and Nick had him losing the World Series. I had him in the ALCS.
Lanny has, the Red Sox over the Phillies. That's a World Series that's still alive.
Sure is.
I had the Phillies over the Red Sox in the World Series. Nick had the Braves over the Red Sox.
It won't be the Braves.
So that one's not happening. But 3 people on this show had them in the World Series. No. One of us had them winning it, and you had them again in the ALCS.
In the ALCS.